Hello humans, my name is Ruby, and I've been invited by our very special friends over at the Museum of Make-Believe to share a few stories with you all today. Here's the first one. Once upon a time, a very old man rocked quietly in front of a crackling fire. Hearing a rustling outside, he slowly got up to open the door. There before him was a ghostly white dog with warm and gentle eyes. The dog soon settled beside him, and as the old man stroked his fur, he began to remember. It was many years ago. The air was crisp, and the first heavy snow had begun to fall. He was just a young boy sledding with a group of friends at Robin's Nest Hill. With a running start, they would race down the slope towards the menacing boulder at the bottom, daring each other to swerve to safety at the last possible moment. When his turn came, he heard a whispering in the nearby forest, and turned to see a shock of snowy fur. He abandoned his sled and chased after the shadow until dusk, but never could catch him. Now, many years later, he finally understood. "Is it time?" he asked. The dog gave a slight nod. Soon, they started out towards the glowing light of dawn at the edge of the woods. As they walked side by side, their footsteps in the snow slowly began to merge into one. They had reunited at long last, a boy and his guardian angel, traveling together through the fallen stars. Now this next one is called the Misfit Emporium. The rabbit sat pulling up bits of sweet summer grass. It was a plain rabbit, the same gray and brown of all wild rabbits. Christopher walked over to it, expecting it to dart away, but it didn't. He could tell as it turned to run that he should follow, so he did. The rabbit moved with great purpose down a stone path. The rabbit stopped in front of a vivid wildflower, nosing an orange butterfly on top. Looking closely, the boy saw it had a woman's face with perfectly coiffed blonde hair and tiny tears streaking down her cheeks. One of her wings was bent. He gathered healing herbs from the forest floor and carefully set the brake. Soon she flew off, good as new. Christopher never knew when the rabbit would come, but he always followed. Once to a snail the size of a large beach ball, who wore a tiny top hat and an impeccably round pair of spectacles. Except for the large crack in his shell, he looked quite dapper. It took some time, but Christopher was able to fuse the wound. Next, there was the green-scaled creature, not much larger than a chicken, and when he moaned, fire came from his mouth, creating a sooty ring in the grass. Christopher looked him over, avoiding the hot puffs of air, struggling to find the problem. The dragon's enormous mother paced nearby. Finally, Christopher reached over to one of the clawed feet. The infant pulled back, resisting the soft pads of his feet being touched. The mother moved closer as a warning. Christopher found the prickly thorn. The youngster howled and burned the tops of a tree with his fiery breath when it was pulled out. But after the salve was applied, he ran off to play as if nothing had happened. The rabbit appeared a few days later looking grim and worried. Christopher followed him for miles, all the way to the saltwater edge of the sea. The beast that laid half on the beach and half in the sea was so gigantic and angry that it stunned Christopher. A massive head heaved in front of him. Christopher walked hesitantly, but quickly. When he was a foot away, the mouth opened, and he saw rows of teeth stacked on top of each other. He immediately saw that one was blackened and broken. It must have been causing great pain. Without thinking, he reached in and grasped the tooth. The mouth automatically snapped shut, but the pressure on his arm was light. The rabbit ran around the beach, agitated. Despite his fear, Christopher wrapped his small hand around the tooth and yanked. The eyes of the beast opened as it started to give. He had expected soulless black eyes, but they were like tiny iridescent pearls. His arm was released at the same time as the tooth. To this day, he has a row of white scars that climb up his arm, reminding him that healing and hurt go hand in hand. Thank you, friends, for listening to these stories with me. I hope to see you all soon.